the power of music. We hear that, the power of music. Well, what is the power of music? I've been thinking of, and that was one that I saw, how it brings people together. The other cliche of music being a universal language. I look at music that melodies don't need to be translated. A C note sounds like a C note where I sit over here in the United States, and how it sounds if you go all the way across the world in China. So it's how the listener interprets that note, the combination of those notes, that music does become a very personal experience for many people, uh, as I have experienced it and seen it. So uh, that's a little bit about me and why music is so important to me and what it's done for my life.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to my great co-host, and the person who makes this possible, Miss Melissa Lozado. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Zach. I'm good. Hi, Sam. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I've been busy and doing projects and all that, but a good
Chasing dogs throughout the neighborhood.
Oh my goodness, my dog ran out the house the other day, and yeah, just imagine me running around trying to get him back in.
Yeah. So
Colorado.
Yeah, she's actually in California, so you know the streets are a little more dangerous there. But Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at One Hope Wines, and just introduce yourself.
Yes. So, well, I am Melissa Lozada, and I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Winery. So, cause entrepreneur is I give hope. I give hope, and I do that by sharing wine. One Hope is a charity-based winery. We're out in Rutherford, Napa Valley, and we have donated over 10 million so far in donations, and we support over 40,000 nonprofits locally and globally, and that's a 501c3 nonprofit. And how we do that is we donate 20% of every purchase to nonprofit organizations. So our 4 pillars of health is clean water, health, education, and world hunger. And in addition, you get to choose your own 501c3 nonprofit that you would like to support with your purchases. And you can do this through our wine club. You can do this through any purchase, or you can just simply call me and we can hook up a fundraiser virtually. We could do it online, and we could do it in person. So it's nice to hear your story, Sam, as I was coming on, because for me, wine and music is totally relatable. You bring people together, and that's what we do with our wine. We always say it's about the wine, but it's not about the wine. Our mission and our vision is not about, hey, let's go get drunk. Our vision and our mission is, hey, you want to purchase this bottle? Well, it's going to do some good for somebody, and you know that's what we do. That's our goal, and we're also organic, and there's no preservatives added into our wines, and you know it's just a great cause. So one hope,
you know, and yeah. Yeah, and then that was something that I was noticing on your the event that you guys have coming up. You know, you guys are very, very conscious when it comes to the earth. So I know that the organic thing speaks to you really well. Melissa, can you please do me a favor and tell us about this wonderful little poster that we got here?
So I created a flyer here. What we do with One Hope is we create event links when we want to fundraise for a nonprofit. So that way we make sure that purchase goes directly to that nonprofit. So what I did was I entered your nonprofit information into our system, and I created a fundraising link. So this link is open for about 90 days. And you can share it with your friends. You can share it with your family. If you're looking to buy wine or host an event, Mother's Day is coming. And we also have a beautiful gifting department as well. So 10% of every purchase will go to world music development through this link with One Hope Wine.
And then again, the other 10% goes to One Hope charities, the One Hope Foundation, which does work on the 4 pillars. It's such a wonderful program, and I love being able to work with One Hope Wine, and I am so glad that you and I, Melissa, have hooked up, and we're going to continue this show. So, what are you looking for when it comes to musicians? What are you hoping to do with musicians? How do they play a part in your world?
Well, musicians are the pillars of our organization. That I say, without music, we have nothing, because it is through the power of music that we're uniting people and raising funds through that power. So they're extremely important, and that importance was really brought to the forefront during COVID, that we saw how musicians and performing artists were affected during COVID. And at that time, we did shift our focus a little bit, because we were more focused towards community causes and giving back to causes that we consider the 5 pillars, which are education, housing, nutrition, healthcare, and economic development. And we started focusing more towards the musician and their survival at that time, really, you know? So music and musicians are extremely important to myself and the organization. What I would want from any music, from my friends to any musician across the world, really, music is a tool, and any tool can be used the right way or the wrong way. And I want musicians to understand that and to be responsible with that tool, to be responsible with that power. That has the power to do a lot of good. The music really does. So let's continue to keep that in mind, and not ever forget it, and not just use it during times that we're facing disasters. There are definitely organizations such as Farm Aid that continually are using music to raise funds for farmers across the country, and that's a concept of world music development, our nonprofit, to continuously raise funds for causes and musicians around the world, no matter what's going on. We always need the help. It's not when there's a disaster.
And I think that's such a great point right there. You know, we as a species, we hear stuff like, you know, just in the last week, there were over 100 tornadoes in 2 days that landed in the heartland of America. Okay, and unfortunately there was loss of life. My wife, her family was directly affected by the heavy rain in Kansas. One house and one business was forced underwater. There was a lot of loss. I mean, one life is too many. And so you know that people are going to come together and they're going to work together to do something, but it shouldn't take a tragedy. We should be able to do this on every day, because where we may not know that there's a tragedy, there are tragedies everywhere. There are tragedies, you know, there are people who need our help all the time. And I think that, you know, that's one of the things that you, Melissa, and I all have in common, is that we're trying to find ways to work to support the everyday thing that goes on, you know, where my tragedy may be not as severe as, you know, 6 deaths and tornadoes ripping up my house, you know, still something going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Melissa, do you have anything?
Yeah, well, it's Psalm, right? Am I saying it correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you know, for a girl that grew up in New York, you know, born and raised in the projects, I just want to say music was my everything. And I totally relate to your story. And when it comes to mental health, for me, music is life as well as fitness is life. You know, I'm a personal trainer at day, and I fundraise at night. But music has always been something that has been a part of me and my family. And I married a man in the music business, so it really is when it comes to your mental. When you just find a good song that relates to you, it can really just change your mindset. So what you put in your mind, what you put in your head, what you read daily, what you listen to is so important for the soul. So I totally love this nonprofit, and I'm really happy to learn about it. And I'm also working with a nonprofit, LAC, and we are going to start digging into mentorship programs and getting our high school students ready for life. And we're going to be hosting and doing a lot of events for them, and one of them is music. So maybe we can connect on that, and maybe I can pick your brain.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on ahead, please.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing that with me as far as what music has done for you. I always love hearing that from anybody, and I hear it a lot from a lot of different people. So thank you so much for sharing that. The other thing, I wanted to thank you for the support of One Hope for World Music Development. That generosity means a lot to us, and I would love to collaborate down the line and see how our organization and myself, I can give back to your mission, your cause, and what you're doing.
Awesome. Would love that. Definitely. It's all about making an impact and helping one another and supporting one another and bringing awareness, which is one of the reasons why I love this podcast, because, we learn about so many different nonprofits out there, and people need to learn, people need to know about who you are and how we can support one another. So yes, I totally agree and would love that.
So looking here on your website, which is worldmusicdevelopment.org, the vision statement is create peace through music. Very, very simple, very straightforward. And the mission statement: enhance and enrich communities by integrating music into various aspects of life. Please don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional. This ultimately achieved through global artist partnerships, comprehensive music programs, and unwavering support for nonprofit initiatives. It's gorgeous, man. I love it. And let's also get this out there. The two websites that we're going to be showing today were created by Sam. He created these. This is one of the other things that he does. He's not just the nonprofit guy. He also has this going on. Sam, you have this Elevation Music Festival coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, Elevation Music Festival is our largest annual fundraiser for our organization currently. The festival started in 2020. However, in 2020, World Music Development wasn't the presenter or producer. We were partners in presenting it by handling some of the logistics for the presenter at that time. With some of the things that changed in 2023, the World Music Development basically took over ownership and the presentation of the festival. So this is going to be the second year that we're presenting this. This year, this is happening August 16th and 17th in the beautiful town of Alma, Colorado. I call it the little big town in the central mountains in Colorado. Our claim to fame for our town is that we are the highest incorporated town in North America. We sit at 10,500 78 feet above sea level. So this is high altitude music. You know, you got to be prepared for this. As we say to people, come with your snow gear, even in August. You never know, you know.
Yep.
It will be sunny and beautiful, and then later in the evening it can be in snow. But the format of the festival this year, we made some changes last year, the last couple of years. This was a ticketed event for general admissions. However, this year the general admissions are free. However, we are charging for camping, and we have some VIP tickets. We call it our elevated experience that provides complimentary food and beverages throughout the weekend, and hanging out with the artists and meet and greets with the artists. We're going to be announcing the lineup here soon, within another week or so. We're about 80% there on our schedule and a final lineup. Let's see, what else can I share with you?
You are looking, you're looking for vendors, and that's where I ended up getting that information about. You're looking for people who, you know, you've got very, very particular rules when it comes to vendors. They have to, you know, you need to make sure that, you know, everything is set up there. The insurance, the disposable cookware, or not cookware, serveware, and stuff like that, which really talks about how, you know, what we were talking about with the organic. You know, this is something that it's a very green event, right?
It is. You know, once you get to experience Alma, you realize that I really am fortunate to live in a very beautiful part of our country, and yeah, many of us over here have that mindset because we live right in nature and we see the beauty of it every day, and because of that, we want to make sure we're good stewards of it. So we make sure that it's reflected in our events as well.
You know, that is one thing about us here in Colorado. Look, we are lucky that we are living in one of the most beautiful areas in this great nation of ours. You know, Colorado. Sorry, Melissa, I know that
it's okay. I love Colorado,
but no, I mean, we're so lucky that we get to go outside every day and see mountains, and there's still, you know, this is so funny. It snowed 23 feet up in some of the higher elevations just the other day, and it was like, oh my God, really? It's you know, now May, but you know, I mean,
that was our town. Yeah, this last weekend we had 2 feet of snow in our driveway on Saturday morning, I believe. I want to say, yeah, exactly. You walk out there, and it's almost to your knees at the end of April. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great because, you know, it'll be 100 degrees down here in the Greeley area, and you'll look up in the mountains and there'll be snow up there, and it is one of the coolest things in the world. You know, you get to see that.
What better reason to escape the city in August? It's really hot, and come up to the mountains and enjoy some awesome music and spend a couple of days in the mountains and camp out. So,
yeah, I'm almost thinking that, you know, this would be a great place for, I don't know, beautiful One Hope Wines representative to come out and talk about her wines from California with her family, who's, I don't know, maybe her husband has something to do with music. I mean, I'm just saying, not saying, just saying, you know. So
well, I have ideas are running in my head, and I'm sure you got, you know, I love the quote that, by the way, Melissa, you had on that banner on that QR code. But there's definitely thoughts going through my head that I'm going to be sharing with both of you offline once we're done with this. So yeah, just watch out. This is just starting out, guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Yep, that is true. You know, so that has to do with what we were saying earlier. You know, we don't know if we can change the world for everyone unless we try. You know, we don't know if we can solve everyone's problems if we don't do it. We have to get together. We have to try. I mean, that's so very important. And I think it's just a vital thing that if, you know, we're getting together with a group of people who and introducing great programs like yours, whose focus is, you know, look, there's a lot of insanity out there right now. We're witnessing it every day. And I like the way that you are taking and bringing music into this, because where my kind of music is not what people would typically think we're relaxing, you know, it's, to me, if I'm having just an insane day and I throw in, you know, I throw in some of my bands and I'm just gonna show my insanity here, but like if I show in a little bit of, if I throw in a little bit of Lamb of God, I become, I love that. You know, it helps relax me. If I'm kind of in a depressed mood, I throw in Faith No More, and their goofiness just really kind of picks me up and lifts me up. And, you know, my wife, it just drives her nuts. So she's a country girl. She listens to country, and she sits there and just shakes her head and like, how do you not want to hurt yourself? You know?
That's so funny.
Music has a tendency to do this to everyone. Every single one of us view it the same, or view it differently. Do we not?
Yes, and you know, it's funny because I'm thinking about my mom right now. You know, my mom, may she rest in peace. But my mom loved music. I mean, if I touched her radio, it was on. We could not touch her music. But she slept with music every single night. It had to be on low, and she would just sleep. And I would always say to myself, how can she sleep like just listening, you know, to music? Like, wouldn't it get annoying? But I realized, you know, down the line, many years past, that that was soothing for her. That relaxed her and put her to sleep. So, you know, always when my baby, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, we would put headphones on my stomach because we love music so much. We will always say these kids are gonna sleep through music because we always playing music. They're gonna sleep through the parties. They're gonna sleep through it all. And this girl was born loving music. She has self-taught her own instrument. She plays guitar. She plays the ukulele. She plays the flute. She plays the piano, and she self-taught herself. We thought she would, you know, become a star one day in music, but she took another creative route. However, just music is everything, and everyone needs to learn about world music. We need to put it out there. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to ask one final question. Oh no, go on ahead, please.
Well, I was going to share, you know, that when I started paying attention to how much music is there in just my life and perhaps other people's life. And Melissa, you said that very well. You know, music starts for many of us prior to birth even. You know, a lot of parents do that, to play music for the baby who's in the womb and everything. And then right after birth, what does it start with? It's the lullabies. That's the mother singing to the baby. But then even look at your life on a general basis. From when we turn on the TV, the commercials have music on them. There is music on the radio. So it's not just when it's music on its own. There's a lot of other things that we got going on that music is the background of it. So that's something that's gotten my attention over the years, of how much music is actually constantly around us that we may not be consciously aware of it, that there is music and it's influencing us while we're hearing it, but we're not conscious about that influence. So that's why in marketing, you know, it's a great method of marketing, you know, or to use music in marketing.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just, I love the way that, you know what, music is individuality, even though, you know, many people love it. Oh, you know, I think it's great. We've been talking to Sam I almost messed it up. Golgon, I'm sorry, I did mess it up. Golgun, from
Yes.
World Music Development. And I want to just ask you to please tell people how to reach out to you.
Yeah, the best way to reach out to me through our website at worldmusicdevelopment.org, and my email address right there at the bottom of the screen, which is som@worldmusicdevelopment.org. And I believe my phone number was provided earlier as well. You're more than welcome to text would be the best thing, because I do get a lot of calls and my voicemail does fill up in half an hour, and everybody's always mad at me. Voicemail is full. So text and email are the best methods of communication. Please get engaged with us, get involved with us. We have a lot of stuff on our website. We just recently introduced a music business program, online course that the introduction of it is on our membership platform. We are providing opportunities. Here's another one for musicians to be able to have a side gig. Musicians are always, from my experience, a lot of times struggling financially to do their art full time. They have to, it's hard to do that and keep a full-time job, family and everything. So we've actually created an affiliate program for our artists around the world or music enthusiasts, that we're giving 50% of the sales from our membership platform to musicians who sign up for this affiliate program. That's another way that we saw, as far as what's a way economic development that we can give back to the music community. And that's one way that we're allowed to do it. Another way to get engaged with us is through our events, is through Elevation Music Festival, just helping us pass the word and letting your friends know about it and joining us in August. We will soon have our volunteer sign-up list posted on the website. I believe it's on the website. I just haven't made an official announcement or sent out an email yet, and we'll do that here soon. And yeah, if you are a vendor around the state of Colorado or outside of the state and you come to Colorado, please check out our vendor opportunities that we have. And I wanted to thank you, Zach. Thank you, Melissa. It's so great to be here, be among like-minded people, these crazy people that they think they're the ones that can change the world. And what I was going to add to this, I've heard half of the game is shown. This is what you were saying earlier, Zach, that there's always something happening, and some people will, why me, and how can I make a difference? Well, the difference is, I've heard that half of the game is just showing up. So if we all did that just to show up, to give back a little and help each other out, I think the world would be a much nicer and much more beautiful place.
I absolutely agree with you. And now, Melissa, I'm going to let you take over the show real quick and do your part, and let's talk about some wines.
Alrighty, my favorite part. So, as you know, this is we are fundraising today, and we're fundraising for World Music Development. And again, your purchase will support this nonprofit. I also want to talk about gifting, because gifting is important. We have Mother's Day gifts, and as you can see, we have been, on Forbes and all kinds of wonderful magazines that display our beautiful bottles. Not only do we have beautiful bottles, like I said before, they're organically good. They are delicious. No sugar added, no preservatives added. And it's the perfect gift for moms. I call it mommy juice. So if you click on the link, when you click on the link and you go into our gift shop, you're going to see all these beautiful gifts that are on sale right now for 20% off. And you get to choose any bottle you like for that gift. So check that out. And I also want to share that our trio of love language is back. It went out of stock for a while. And these beautiful little babies, these are my favorite little bottles. And I remember when they first launched them, they're just so cute. They're eco-friendly, so it's a little smaller than a regular bottle. And they taste delicious. So we have a red blend, we have a rosé, and we have a Chardonnay. These three are also a purchase with purchase. So if you purchase 6 bottles, you can add these 3 bottles for just $30 to your case. So these wines are wonderful. The red wine, wonderful, nice, and it's not too sweet, not too dry. It's wonderful. Pairs well with wonderful cheeses like Vermont white cheddar. That's my favorite with this wine. But they're delicious. So try them out. They're only $20, and for our wine club members, it's even cheaper. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and those wines there, Stephanie had sent me those last year, and
so good.
the rosé and the red blend, and yeah, those were really, really good. I did enjoy them. So and tell us some of the advantages of the wine club.
So the advantages of the wine club is you save up to 20%, and what I love is that we offer free shipping to our wine club members, and not many wineries do that. So it's expensive to ship wine, but because we donate to nonprofits, and we have donated so much around the world, we're able to do this for our wine club members, where we give you free shipping on 6+ bottles, and it's also free shipping in between. You can skip your month anytime you want. So there's a 1, 2, or 3 month increment. We have a build your own option, so you can swap out your bottles at any time. And then we have a curated option where our winery makes the wines for you. And usually a lot of people like to go for that. If you're not too familiar with wines, you get the curated option, so you get to taste many different wines and reserves. And 10%, 20% is going to nonprofits. So again, every purchase is supporting nonprofits all around the world. And at checkout, all you have to do is choose your charity. And if it's not in there, you can type it in. So we got you.
Yeah. And again, you can always visit our Facebook page. You can go to its Community Pay It Forward One Hope fundraiser. Go to our page. I guess I need to shut the so you can actually see it. But if you go to our page, we ask you, share your favorite bottles, share your favorite recipe. Tell us what you think about the One Hope wines. Tell people what you think, and tell them about your experience, and let's have a lot of fun. So Community Pay It Forward One Hope fundraiser. It is in a group, so it's impossible for me to share the link. I will have it in the description of this interview once we're done and I release it to YouTube and everywhere else.
Yes, and on that note, when you do try One Hope, we have it's just wonderful. You try One Hope, and then when you review it on our website, One Hope gives you points. And those reward points are cash towards your next purchase. So that's another thing I wanted to mention real quick. One Hope, not only are you donating to nonprofits, you're receiving 5% back on all of your purchases at the same time. And when you're a wine club member, we're giving you gifts, $500 worth of gifts, and you get, I think there's there's 2 reserves that you get. You get an iconic, you get a reserve, and you also get a $200 credit. So if you ever go to Napa, you can visit One Hope, and our chefs will gladly chef it up for you. So that's another beautiful perk that we have.
And I know that you and the Goddess of the Grape, you guys both love doing that. You love doing all the events and everything. Once again, here is the QR code. You simply scan that code that Melissa has worked very, very hard on. You just scan that code to make any purchase, and our wonderful guest and our wonderful highlighted nonprofit of the month, World Music Development, gets 10% of every bottle you buy, and 10% also goes to the 4 pillars. Melissa, can you remind us of the 4 pillars, please?
Yes, it's world hunger, clean water, health, and education.
And that you'll be able to find that QR code all over Community Pay It Forward and the pACT channel pages all month long. So, Saad, thank you, sir. Sam, thank you, sir, for joining us. And I look forward to talking to you again on the 15th when we do our half-month show. Melissa, as always, I'm so glad that we got to get this back together. And we'll talk to you both very, very soon. Sam, I will send you all this information when we're done. I will direct an email that connects you to as well. So, but I want to thank you both so very much. Once again, if you want to get a hold of Sam, it's Sam at worldmusicdevelopment.org. That's SAAM at worldmusicdevelopment.org. Or you can text him 970-389-8197, 970-389-8197. I'm not sure, maybe I've already been drinking today or something, because I am having one hell of a time talking. So
Words are hard sometimes.
yeah, this English language that I speak, whatever. So, but again, I want to thank you guys both very, very much, and wish you both a great evening. And I will talk to you both soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
No
Zach. Thank you,
problem.
Melissa.
We'll see you
Keep up the
soon.
great work.
Bye. Next up, we've got a wonderful introduction to one of our brand new partners. She's a wonderful, hardworking person, and they have. I mean, it's absolutely the best tagline I've ever heard in my life, and I think that you're going to enjoy it too. This is brand new partner, brand new family member, a sister to our program, Sarah Kuoku. Late last year, I had the opportunity to meet this lady, and we actually met probably earlier last year in our Colorado group with Alignable, and you and I had some conversations before, and there was interest there, but then we really started to talk about it when it came time to for the 22-hour podcast. And I'm being joined right now by Sarah Kuoku. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Zach. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
No, I'm doing okay. Not broken yet.
That's good.
Close, but not yet.
Battered and bruised, maybe, but
yeah, battered, bruised, and maybe a little uncomfortable, but I mean, it is what it is. So you have one of the best taglines I've ever heard. Enough fooling around, let's unzip those jeans. Tell me about what you do.
Well, what I do is I work with a company that provides they can do a DNA test. It's just a swab test. And what we're looking for is health variants. So we pull a panel of 103 different genetic health variants. We're looking for things that impact an individual's healthy foundation, the basic functions. And my tagline, as a quick little history, that's my slogan. And it was actually born out of frustration of people. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and people just not really getting it, or not really believing that it's possible. We can actually look at specific genes that affect your health, and then we are also able to custom compound a personalized formula based on your results. And people are like, oh, I'd rather do this, or I don't know about that, and it just was literally born of frustration. It's like, enough fooling around. Like, literally, this is where it came from. Enough fooling around. Let's unzip those genes. Let's look inside, see what your blueprint has, where the typos or the lines don't quite connect, and help you support those.
People really don't understand a lot of times the importance of what they eat. Everything about you is affected by what you eat, your energy, your obviously your weight, your
Everything.
stamina, yeah, everything about you, your mood.
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
what are
go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
going ahead. No, going ahead.
I would say our gut health, our brain cognition, our moods, our inflammatory response, our immune system, literally every function of our body requires good nutrition to function optimally. And sometimes certain functions where we might have a variant, a genetic variant, meaning maybe maybe this little group of genes that affect our, let's say, our inflammatory response, maybe we've got some issues there. We've inherited some genetic variants, and so we need to give those genes extra nutritional support so that they can function better. That's what we do. That's what it comes down to. Because, and as we're kids, we all hear, gotta fuel your body. Well, it's the truth. It really is. And you can put the fake stuff in there, all the extra so-called energy drinks and stuff, but those have so many different side effects. They're not actual nutrition. The body's not getting the nutrients it needs to function like it needs to and wants to.
That really brings it up to where you hear, this person's got the metabolism where they can eat anything that they want, and their body doesn't blow up, and I eat one Oreo and I gain 25 pounds. That has a lot to do with what you guys, what you're looking at, right?
Absolutely.
Genetics on okay, you can probably eat 2 Oreos and not blow up if you take these other steps.
Well, there is no, and I like to say this too, there's no magic wand, there's no silver bullet. There is no one answer to optimal health for anybody. It doesn't exist. Our bodies aren't made that way. We need proper nutrition, we need plenty of water, we need sleep, we need exercise, we need quiet time, whatever that means to an individual. I mean, there's a lot of different pieces and parts. And, a lot of people think, well, if I do this, I'll be okay. So with me, one of the interesting things I discovered in my own genetic testing, I've always struggled with my weight, even as a child. And among other things, I also retained water really a lot, and different things. And what I learned from my testing is, I used to like to say it's in my genes. I'm overweight because of my genes. I inherited this from my parents. And my sister and I both were disappointed when we got our tests back and realized that the genes that are predominantly responsible for how we eat and where we store our fat, we didn't inherit any variants there. We have no genetic variant there. But what I did discover is that I have a lot of genetic variants in the genes that are most responsible for my detoxification. And that can affect your weight.
Do people use the genes thing? It's all in my genes. Do they use that too much as a cop-out?
I think they use it because I think they use it out of, for one thing, it sounds good. It's an excuse. You say, well, nothing I can do about it. Ha 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 ha. That's a fallacy. And I think too, because they don't understand, they think, well, my parents are heavy, or my parents have diabetes, or my parents have heart disease, so of course I'm predisposed. That may be true, and it may not be. You don't automatically inherit everything from both parents. We only have so much room in our DNA, and so we inherit things from both sides. So you could, but you could also be completely variant free. I'm sure, I know that in my father has some of the FTO genes, but my sister and I, neither one inherited them. But this whole thing about it's in my genes, there's nothing I can do about it. The genes we look at, the variants we look at, we're looking at actionable genes. And I'm going to explain that really quickly because it plays into this. In our body, we have a lot of a lot of genes and markers that determine like how tall we're going to be, how we're built, what color our eyes are, if we have a unibrow, if our middle finger is longer than the others, or, those things are not actionable. Being they are what they are.
Oh, well, they are. Okay.
They're kind of written in stone. Okay. But then we have all these other genes that are called actionable genes. Those are the ones that we can personally influence with our nutrition, our exercise, our hydration, all of the things we do to promote our health. And so you may not be predisposed to be overweight like me, but if I'm not detoxing well and I don't know that, and I'm not taking steps to support that, I'm still going to have a weight issue. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, when this happens, somebody who maybe is predisposed, you can figure out how to help them conquer that predisposition, or lessen the effects of it, maybe?
What we do is when we identify, I don't personally, I'm not a medical provider of any sort. I've just got a lot of experience with this. So when we have an area, like, say for me, I'll use myself as an example again, detoxification. We can't fix those genes, but what we can do is, based on peer-reviewed studies on nutritional research, we learn what nutrients, when used together, support a genetic function best. And so we apply those into a custom formula. So every time when somebody does their DNA test, they get 11 reports, which break down like the heart health, inflammation, healthy BMI, energy, 10 areas. We also then take the top 22 genes from those 10 reports and create a code complex, which is a personalized supplement based on those 22 genes, which we choose because they're like the heavy hitters in those areas. And that's where we apply the nutritional research. So we can't fix them, we can't change them, we can support them by giving them the nutrients that help them function better.
Okay. I know one of the things that you and I did when we first really introduced each other to each other, when we had you on Footprints Forward, and you met Stephanie Simoes. And this has led to amazing stuff, because you guys have been able to work together on creating a healthier situation for her son. And it's kind of one of those things, you know what, everything's not going to work for everybody, but there are certain things that you're doing that, even though there's no you don't have that ability to say this is scientifically proven to work, to fix this, or whatever it is, you guys were able to put in place something that is working for her.
Well, it's along with the reports. We don't simply say, here's your gene stuff, here's your gene results, here's your custom supplement, take this and everything will be wonderful. We focus on, the nutritional supplement is pretty amazing, because it is specifically geared towards your unique genetic variants, your health variants, okay? So we're providing that as a foundation. I always like to talk about our health as like a building. If you have a solid foundation, everything you do above that, you're going to benefit from even more. The walls are going to stay stronger. The floors aren't going to sag. But if you have a weak foundation, it doesn't really matter how good everything is you put on top. If that foundation is weak, you're going to have issues. It may not be immediately, but at some point in time, you're going to have issues. We focus on the foundation, which is what our supplement is based on. And it is scientifically based. It is peer-reviewed studies. It is nutrients that are proven to help support these genetic functions. Having said that, we also provide lifestyle recommendations, other things you can do to support your health, your genetic variants. We include, it could be different forms of exercise, things for your mental health, foods to avoid, foods you might want to make sure you're getting plenty of. So it's not just, here's our test, here's the supplement. Here's our test, here's your story, here's what we can do to help support foundation, and here's the things you can do to help support it.
So who are some of the people that you guys have had great luck with? Like, I'm just kind of wondering. I know someone who is suffering greatly with some of the symptoms of like menopause.
Mm.
Is there any connection there that what you guys are doing could really help her?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different questions you asked in there, but hormones are part of our genetic functioning, and so we don't do like a test specifically on hormones, but it's all tied together. Gut health affects that. Our brain health affects that. Our detoxification affects that. Our inflammatory response there. So it all weaves together to make the fabric of who we are. Everybody has a different experience with this. I can't say, it's not like if you do say an energy drink, like, oh, you're going to get this massive burst of energy. I can't say that. We can't tell what's going to happen or how you're going to feel or how you're going to benefit in the long run. We do know that from results that people have shared with us. Myself personally, my health has improved. I had a condition that has pretty much become non-existent for me. It was actually causing so much pain. It was difficult for me to truly get out and enjoy walking and hiking like I do. My dad's A1C, his kidney numbers, he's diabetic. He's a stage 4 diabetic. His numbers improved. His heart numbers improved. Those are some common things, but we can't say what's going to happen for an individual because number one, we don't know what your genetic variants are until you test. But we don't do medical advice.
Right.
Also, because these are predispositions to health issues, so having something come up on your test, it doesn't say, oh, you have this problem. It says you're genetically predisposed to have this, whether you're experiencing it now or it comes up later. Again, talk about the foundation. Some things can hang on for a while, but sooner or later they can get triggered. We really don't know because we don't know where your body is in that journey. There's no way to know. All we know is when people do this and they take this nutritional supplement and consistently and for an extended period of time, this is not like a quick fix. You're not going to take them for a week and say, whoo, whoo, I'm all better. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So what we do, people that stick with it, people that want that incorporate it into what they're doing, it's pretty rare. It's not unheard of, but it's pretty rare that someone doesn't have noticeable improvement in their health. Some people don't feel different. But when you look at their numbers, my husband's a really good example of that. He feels different in the sense of, I think he feels good. He doesn't feel like, his energy's good. But one of the things that for him, you can't see it, but he has a lifelong history of erratic blood pressure. It's always been all the board. When he went into the Air Force, they made him go on to monitoring for like 2 weeks solid because they were like, what is the deal here? He doesn't have that problem anymore. Now that since he's been on his supplement within probably, I think, 4 or 5 months, his blood pressure stabilized, and it's still is now going on 5.5 years later.
That's amazing. This may sound like a really silly question, but well, it is a really silly question. Is there ever been a case where somebody comes in and they have screwed up their genetics so bad, they've mistreated their genetics so bad that with this treatment they have adverse effects to it?
Reflex?
I'm starting to create a new language today. I mean, look, you got to excuse me. I talk for a living.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm not really sure. So how do I answer that? some people, it's not that they've screwed up your genetics, because your genes are what they are. But if you've got issues and you're not taking care of them, those genetic functions are not going to improve, and they can get worse. But it's because it's building up in the body. So the one thing that we do notice is sometimes people who have not been taking very good care of themselves, or people that are just a little more sensitive, might have a more difficult time adjusting. And I hate using the word detox, because people instantly think, oh, colon or